A lot of students ask, should I study ACCA full-time or part-time? This one actually a lot of consideration to be taken into account before you decide whether you want to study full-time or part-time. If you ask me as a lecturer, I encourage all of you to study full-time. The reason being, if you are a full-time student, you will have the time to actually juggle with all the information given to you in order for you to prepare for exam. For example, if you sign up a tuition class, right, for ACCA exam, you will be given all the notes, you will be given videos, you will be given explanation, podcast, anything that the tutor prepare for you. If you are working at the same time you are studying part-time, you may not have ample time to go through all this for you to have a better understanding about the subject matters and also about the techniques of answering the exam questions. So if you study full-time, you will ensure yourself having all the time to go through all these materials, and you can probably go for 2 subjects per sitting. So if you study full-time, actually for students who have maximum 9 exemption, for the 4 paper to be completed in 1 year, I wouldn't think it's a problem. And full-time study, because you have the time to do preparation, it actually increases the rate of you passing the examination. But there's one thing that's not so good about full-time is you may not have the real working life experience to help you to answer your exam questions. So that's the reason. How do you compensate for this? That's the reason when you study full-time, you have to really put in your commitment, really study all the materials that is which are given by your tutors, because your tutors are there to actually give you some information to compensate the fact that you didn't go out to work and gain real working experience. I wouldn't say it's perfectly 100% to compensate, but the tutor's material will help you to have some sort of understanding about the real working experience, what is happening inside the real world, what is happening in the real working place, so that you can get some information, get some idea to answer to your question. It is not a surprise that our full-time students actually pass the exam. Exam like SBL, for example, which is very much related to the work, to the real working experience. Students without real working experience also can pass the subject as long as they use the right technique, they really go and study the materials which are given by the tutor. So if you have the financial support from your family, we will encourage you to study full-time, right? But we understand that not all the students will have the luxury to study full-time. So going for part-time study is actually not to say a very bad choice as well, right? To go for part-time study, you need to plan your time properly, right? You know that you are going to commit fully in your work because you have a full-time job. If you are going to commit fully in your work, then you have to set out what, from what time to what time that you are going to work, right? And then how much time you have to do your study, how much time in your weekend that you can do your study. And you might need to sacrifice some of the entertainment activities, like for example going for movie, going for karaoke, going out, hanging out, shopping with your friends and so on. All this, there is a level that you need to sacrifice, and you have to be prepared for that, right? So studying part-time is of course more struggling, and you need to have better time management compared to full-time studies, but it's not impossible. It's attainable as long as you are committed to pass your exam, right? So studying part-time, same, you still need to go through the materials given by your tutor, but you need to have some prioritization, and you have to plan your time well, in the sense that tutors will give you a lot of materials, but because you're working, some materials may be a little bit redundant for you, because you may gain the experience from the real working experience, the real working place, right? So you got to do some prioritization on what materials you are going to read and what materials you are going to view. If you have time, you're going for that first, right? Then if you have some more extra time, then you will go for the rest. So you have to do some prioritization on the materials. And it is the best if you can ask tutor to get their opinions if I don't have time. then which one should I prioritize? So if you can actually talk to your tutor and get some opinions from your tutor, that will help you in your planning as well. So whether you are studying full-time or part-time, both are attainable to pass your exam, right? To pass your exam is not an impossible task as long as you have a proper planning. If you would like to seek more opinions, you can actually ask the faculty of your schools, ask the lecturer of your schools, ask the tutor that you are signing up with for the ACCA exam, and I'm sure that and also ask your seniors, right? Ask your seniors in your workplace if you are working. I'm sure that you will be able to figure out a plan for you to navigate through the ACCA exams, as long as you are committed to complete the exams.